Class 1 Papa Hotel, so he did the same thing to me, came with him, speed of 1 Papa Hotel, Roger, it's the Moa.
What's up, everybody? It's a Friday morning, I'm on my way to work, but I got one stop to make on the way. Sounds like him now. Yep. I think he rocks the GXS-S1000F. What's up, dude?
How's it going?
Good to meet you.
Good to meet you too.
So how'd you hear about the Moto Pilot thing?
You actually handed me a card at the Zorbas meeting.
I brought you some stickers.
Awesome.
And some cards. If you want to hand the cards around to your buddies or whoever, or bikes you see out there, just keep them with you. Give them to whoever, dude. I don't care who you get. Like just regular people, kind of like dig the stuff too.
You know, working at that shop, I see a lot of guys.
Yeah, there you go.
So
yeah.
I'll be able to hand them out. And then...
So to those of you who don't know, I do now have a P.O. box. If you want to send me any fan mail, here's the address. For those of you that follow me on Instagram, you know I started a new series in my Motovlog called Q&A, Questions and Answers. And this is the first one, so do me a favor and leave me comments. Let me know if you guys dig it or hate it, and let's get into it. So Bullet Diaries asked me what was my inspiration to start motovlogging, and really it just kind of happened with me building this helmet first. As I started watching motovloggers about 3 months ago, I'd never seen one before that. And then one day I thought, you know what, I love to build video, I have GoPros, why not motovlog? So really it's kind of as simple as that. That's how it all started. Hammer Hansen asked what's the best bike I've ever ridden, and actually the bike I'm on right now is the best bike I've ever ridden. It's the 2016 Suzuki GXS-S1000F. Looks like a sport bike, but it's got the comfort of a naked bike, so there's better bikes out there, but I haven't ridden them, so what are you gonna do? I like Butter Toast says, what's your gear setup? I'm actually sponsored by Speed and Strength, so everything I wear from head to toe from these guys. Why am I turning left here? I can't even pronounce this next guy's name, but he asked me if I am or ever was a pilot, and no, never been a pilot. I just came up with the idea. Initially I was going to call my vlog Factory Pilot, and that's a term that Oakley used to use a lot, but I didn't want any copyright infringements, so one day it popped in my head, Moto Pilot, and just kind of ran with it. Next question is, what's my dream bike? You know, I don't really dream about a bike. I could technically go out and buy any bike I want, but I would like to have the Aprilia Tuono. I mean, I really had my eye on that when I was looking at bikes. I just didn't want to spend the money at that time. But one of these days I might just... I'm racking miles up on this bike so quick, I might only have it for a year and then sell it and then get the Aprilia. Did I make my helmet or buy it? This helmet is the Speed and Strength SS2500 that anybody can go out and buy. But all this weird looking stuff you see on the helmet, I built it, I custom built it. There is a video, if you go into my playlist for motovlogging, you'll see a video that goes over every feature of my helmet, so go check it out. Next guy asks, how did I start riding? Dude, honestly, I was born with a passion to ride. My dad got us kids a little mini bike when we were really small, probably 7, 8 years old, and ever since then I've been twisting throttle. I started off riding motocross for a good part of my youth, and then just started riding street later in life. Have I owned any other previous bikes? Yes. dozens and dozens. There's so many bikes, I can't even tell you how many. Start off riding dirt bikes, and when you ride dirt bikes for 20 years, you go through a lot of motorcycles. I couldn't even tell you every single brand out there. This is a good one. Have I ever crashed? Many times on dirt bikes, more than I can count, but street bikes, that's a whole different story. I actually did have a crash. I was doing a track day out at a track called Chuckwalla, and it was 103 degrees out, so the track was greasy. My tires were a little bit slippery. Anyways, my buddy Bill, he kept passing me in this right-hand turn. So the third time I came into that turn, I said, "You're not going to get me this time." It was probably a 60 or 70 mile an hour right-hander, and next thing I know, my back tire just gave out, and I low-sided and just slid off the track, and it was quite the thrill ride. I didn't get hurt, bike didn't flip or anything, so yeah, that was pretty sketchy though. What is a good starter bike? Look at my videos, you'll find all the bikes in there to choose from if you're looking for a sport bike. Bodrick the 2 is wondering about how to get started on bikes, and there's I highly recommend you go to the Motorcycle Safety Foundation. You can take their course, and when you pass the course, you get your class 1, I believe that's what it's called, motorcycle license. I had a buddy, he didn't start riding Harley Davidsons till he was like 40 years old, and I said, "Dude, you're gonna get hurt," but he went out and took that course, and he's doing fine. Motorcycle Safety Foundation. You're asking about the KTM. I think it's the 390 or the KTM entry-level bike. Great bike. It costs a little bit more than the Honda and the Kawasaki and the Yamaha entry-level bikes, but you get what you pay for. It's a bitchin' looking bike, and it's going to have more power. So I would say, yeah, it's a great starter bike. Which do I prefer, trails or tracks? Love them both, but I've always been a track guy. Raced motocross like my whole life, and you just can't beat jumping and smacking berms and all that good stuff. So I'm all about the tracks, man. Matter of fact, I'm even doing a track day on this bike at Fontana Speedway middle of next month, September, and so stoked on that. It's gonna be a blast. And yeah, I'll be videotaping that. What's the worst traffic accident I've been in or seen? Have not been in one, fortunately. Don't want to get in one. But I was splitting lanes coming home from work one day, and I moved over for a guy that was splitting faster than me, and he was on a Harley Dynaglide, or whatever you call those things, with the taller chopper bars, and he was clocking about 70 and traffic was going about 30. And I was just like, "Dude, you need to fucking slow down." And 2 seconds later, a Honda Accord turned right in front of him, and I just saw carnage. The guy bounced off the car, went to the right, rear-ended another car, went flying up in the air. You know, I stopped to help him out. I'm just gonna say, it wasn't pretty. So if you split lanes, slow your ass down. I do no more than 15 miles an hour faster than the speed of traffic. Edward Dennison, you're asking me about iPhone waterproof cases. I don't use the iPhone. I'm a Samsung guy. Google it, you'll find plenty. Rocket 19, I kind of answered that already, like what made me start motovlogging. Just watching some motovlogs and loving to shoot video. And like I said about the name, I just was initially going to be factory pilot and didn't want to infringe on Oakley, so Moto Pilot just popped in my head. What is my favorite part on my motorcycle? Wow, that's a tough question. I really don't have a favorite part. Maybe the carbon fiber Yoshimura exhaust. Here's an unusual question. Am I a gun owner? Unfortunately, I am not. I wish I had a gun. I wish I had 2 guns. I 100% support gun ownership, and I think California really needs to take after Arizona and allow people to do concealed carry. What good is having a gun if it's sitting at your house and you're out and about in society and getting shot at? It's ridiculous. I'm 100% behind the US Constitution on every level.